of October is an annual celebration for Filipinos here in America to commemorate the first migration of our kababayans in California in 1587. This occasion became official in 1991 and was recognized as the Filipino American History Month. For this reason, we have prepared a special story here on Profile Overseas Diaries this October. This is a story about a group of our kababayans that despite having a good life and successful careers, have not lost their love for their native Philippines, who in their own way struggled to fight for the Filipino people, calling out ills in the government and expressing their view of alternative solutions. Meet CIRCA-Pintig in Chicago, Illinois. Good day. I am Jamiel Robles Fan. Ito ang Haymarket Square sa Chicago, Illinois, isang makasaysayang lugar kung saan ang mga mapahayapang pagtitipon ng mga manggagawa noong 1886 ay binalot ng lagim. 8 tao ang nasawi at mahigit sa 6 na po ang nasugatan matapos na may maghagis ng bomba sa kanilang pagtitipon-tipon. Ang mapait at marahas na karanasang ito ang naging inspirasyon ng maraming labor groups and organisasyon sa iba-ibang panig ng mundo. Inspirasyon na naging tungtungan din ng ating mga kababayang Pilipino na magbuo ng kanilang samahan. Samahan na masasabi nilang naging isang komunidad na may isang vision. Ang ibahagi ang husay, kultura at tradisyon ng mga Pilipino sa pamamagitan ng malikhaing pagtatanghal sa teatro o performing arts.
We started a community theater group here called CIRCA-Pintig. Well, at the time it was only Pintig because Pintig means pulse or heartbeat. So we wanted to be the pulse of the community. We are celebrating our 31st anniversary of the founding of Pintig as a 501c3. Although we started our performances, we started doing guerrilla theater, so to speak. We were performing on the streets during protest actions in front of the Federal Plaza, in front of the Philippine consulates, in solidarity with other communities during the anti-Gulf War. We were very active, and our form of participation and solidarity was through community theater.
Bridging the differences between a Filipino-American and the Filipinos born in the Philippines. Because that's totally two cultures coming in, working in a common cause to use art as a tool for social transformation.
Pintig became like our extended family. So the support came from our families. We did everything that it took to put a play together. We were doing stagehands, doing research, interviewing community members. We were recruiting other artists. We were writing press releases, writing grants.
Para kay Angela Mascarenas, o mas kilala sa tawag na Jing ng kanyang mga kaibigan, na lumaki sa Quezon City at isa sa mga founder ng CIRCA-Pintig, malalim ang naging dahilan niya sa pagbuo ng kanilang non-profit, non-government organization o foundation dito sa Amerika.
One of my biggest cultural shocks in my search for other Filipinos, I was invited to attend an event in a community center here in Chicago. It's called the Rizal Center. And guess what that event was? It was the biggest gathering of Filipinos I've ever attended for the first time. And it was for a beauty pageant. It was for a Mrs. Philippines beauty pageant, which was such a cultural shock because it seemed like people were not aware of what was going on in the Philippines. That people were dying in the Philippines, and here they were celebrating the beauty of the Filipinos. Not that there was anything wrong with that, but I felt like it was so misplaced because a lot of us who were uprooted were fighting for our lives, for our safety, for the lives of our families. because some of our friends were already killed. You know, they disappeared all of a sudden, and we can only surmise that they were killed by the dictatorship.
Anya, taliwas ito sa kanyang nakagisnang environment noong nagsisimula pa lamang siya bilang isang cultural worker sa Pilipinas.
At an early age, nung high school, I joined the summer workshop of PETA. And we were the first group that formed the PETA's Metropolitan Teen Theater League. So way back in high school, we were very active already kasi this was the time of martial law. Okay. And kumbaga yung awakening ko as a person and being aware of the problems of society, yung poverty, repression, all of those, you know, kumbaga my eyes were open when I joined PETA. And then, so after our summer workshop, we started organizing different high school theater groups all over Metro Manila, Greater Metropolitan Area, so including Quezon City.
Halos di rin nalalayo ang mga experience ni Levi Aliposa, Tubong Samar at kasalukuyang Advisory Council ng CIRCA-Pintig nang nagsisimula sa Kilusan.
So this has been my 32 years dito sa Chicago. I have not lived anywhere than being in the city actually. Sa Pilipinas, lumaki ako doon sa Katarman, Northern Samar. That time, one thing that is popular na rin na-experiencean ko yung pagkamatay ni Benigno Aquino. Lumaki ako na kung saan ang curfew ay parang party ng buhay. Lahat ng mga kabataan kailangan nasa bahay ng alas 5. Doon ko rin na-experiencehan yung kahirapan sa pagiging Samarinyo. So, sa schools, doon ako na-develop na maging isang leader. Naging ako ng student council leader ako sa Leyte Normal University. That time, LSC, Leyte State College pa. Nakita ko na, yung struggle ko sa pamilya ko na may connection pala sa ibang mga kabataan.
Para kina Jing at Levi, kung wala silang mga naging background sa movement habang nasa Pilipinas, posibleng magkakaibang direksyon ang naging buhay nila.
Pero ang isang bagay na nakita ko sa experience na yon, na yung pagiging aktivista sa Leyte, sa Samar, ay hindi lang dapat na sa Leyte and Samar. Na dito pala yung pagiging aktivista sa Amerika, importante. Lalo na sa kailangan ng solidarity. Yun ang nakita ko yung connection, di ba? Solidarity. Ano ba talaga yung solidarity? Yung struggle ng mga workers sa Samar at Leyte ay walang pagkakaiba sa mga Filipino workers dito, sa mga overseas workers sa Chicago at saka like kahit na yung mga Mexican workers, yung Chinese workers dito, nakapagbigay sa akin ng bagong perspective kung paano ko magpatuloy yung pagiging isang tao na desire for social change.
Oh my God, I've never been depressed ever in my whole life. Pagdating dito, you're like fish out of water. Para kang, sabi mo nga, para kang in-uproot. So you're grasping for air. There was this big void, that was so hard to fill. But what really helped was that I was with family. And for the first time also, so Papa has been separated from us for a long time. So it brought us even closer, even with my siblings and the family, You're struggling together, you're trying to find a new home in a foreign land. So the only thing we've got, maski mahirap yung buhay, was our family.
More to come in our story. Please stay tuned. Profile Overseas Diaries will be right back.
Calling all Filipino senders, send money to your loved ones in the Philippines with no fees. Transfer securely and affordably from your phone to GCash, Cash Pickup, and all major banks in the Philippines. Receive a $20 free credit with SendWave by downloading the app. To enjoy your free credit, use the code PINTIG. Send money to your loved ones with SendWave. Maraming salamat.
From a simple dream and simple programs, together with the continuing communication and interaction with other groups, CIRCA-Pintig has expanded its connections and networks. After a while, Ginger Leopoldo joined them and is now one of the executive directors of CIRCA-Pintig. Lani Montreal, a columnist in a popular newspaper in the Philippines, acted as the playwright-writer for the group. All of this as we continue Profile Overseas Diaries. Naging mabilis ang mga pangyayari para kina Ginger at Lani.
Our organization is now 31 years, so we were all part of the first production, and there was probably a couple of years or a few years when we were first starting where we had our more regular season, different shows, again, Filipino writers and artists would come and work with us here to put on various plays on various topics. And then eventually I was pursuing my schooling, so I was attending a theater program at University of Illinois at Chicago, and then my husband and I started having our family. We had our own kids, and so that's sort of part of how the organization has grown. Sometimes people are very involved, sometimes people step back to take care of other things. But eventually CIRCA was started, and CIRCA is the one that was developed so that our children could have also access to this type of engagement. Really, it's an integrated theater arts program, and so I was the artistic director when CIRCA began. That was 2001, so 10 years after Pintig formally became a group, then CIRCA started, and CIRCA I think is the one that's the official 501c3.
And I saw CIRCA-Pintig perform here while I was visiting sa Chicago, and I was very impressed. So nung nandun ako sa Toronto, we had a Theater of the Oppressed festival, and I was involved in the planning, and so they were asking for suggestions about who to invite. Tapos sabi ko, oh, why not, Pintig. I saw them perform and they were awesome, so let's bring them over. And so then that's how I connected with them the first time, like 1997. They were just saying na, oh, marami kaming production, lika punta ka doon sa Chicago. And I was kind of a nomad and just, and I said, yeah, sure. And then bumisita ako dito sa Chicago, and then I never left. So actually, it's the community that I found here that made me stay. And that community is Pintig. They're like my second family. And then I got married, and now I have 2 kids, and so that's why I've been here. I've been here to Chicago. I got my master's here, MFA in creative writing at Roosevelt University, and then and now I'm teaching for the City Colleges of Chicago. So I pretty much I planted my roots here. So so yeah, that's why I'm here.
Sa pagkakadagdag ni Ginger at Lani, mas lalong lumakas at tumatag ang CIRCA-Pintig.
Nung dumating na ako dito, everybody was, in the theater company was talking Tagalog, and it felt really nice. That I have family. I think yung Pintig, yung values ng Pintig, mission, vision, and goals, it just aligned with my own values, And so so that's, I think that it reinforced it, and you know, and it's like it reinforced the idea of the arts being you know, a way to galvanize the community, a way to organize, to get the community to participate in discourse, right? Like sa mga importanteng issues, not just sa Pilipinas, pero dito rin. Mas marami ding issues dito. So, but yeah, so that's why that's why I stayed with. That's another attraction. It's like, you know, yung alignment nga ng values and ideology.
It was very influential to me because, you know, part of being in the arts is sort of therapeutic, right? It's a way to express self-expression. It's a way to find your voice. It's also a way to learn about other people's experiences. It really can develop your skill of empathy. And I really think I found safety and I found comfort in being in the arts and doing theater. And I had excelled in it as well, so it really helped with, say, my self-confidence, my self-esteem, and that's what I ended up deciding to study in college.
Okay.
Yeah, so I pursued it. I've got my bachelor's and my master's in theater. You know, so I was one of the younger members, but you had really a community of Filipinos who wanted to be involved and who wanted to, you know, tell this story, but also be able to work with the artists from the Philippines that was able to present to us the story that we can all take part in.
At dahil pareho silang inclined sa cultural work, naging malaki ang kanilang kontribusyon sa kilusan, lalo na sa pagbuo ng play.
That was really fun. Working with, doing theater with young people, with children. And so I think that's when we started CIRCA-Pintig, was when, you know, we added that component where it used to be just, you know, mostly theater and working with adults. So dinagdagan ng another, it's like just kind of looking at how we can engage children and the youth and keep them connected with their family's culture and with the, you know, because kahit ni marami sila, di ba, Phil-Am na eh, dito na sila pinanganak. So, and yeah, they I think like even today they appreciate that experience, you know.
I think mostly, I mean, outside of maybe some of the grants that we might be receiving from the city or the state or from some of the other groups that believe in the kind of work in theater that we do, like Resist, Crossroads Fund, you know, we're really been 100% volunteer based, so we have no overhead when it comes to human capital. All of this time, really, people will contribute their time and maybe receive an honoraria at the end, a small stipend, that oftentimes many of us would even just donate back to the organization, to the company. When we're having a production, there will be some ticket sales, but we often want just our community members to come to watch, so it's not necessarily either that our box office sales supports the production, but somehow we're able to manage with the little bit of funding that we get. And really, it's because of the community donating their time, donating their resources, their space, the food, the drinks. That's really, I think, what's been sustaining our work for the past 3 decades.
Aminado si Lani, Ginger at Levi. Walang CIRCA-Pintig kung hindi ito sinimulan ni Jing Mascarenas.
Jing is so articulate. That's one thing too that attracted me. She's just so like convincing, very persuasive.
And really kind of losing touch with my culture, did I meet Tita Jing, who was dating my Tita Ramon.
Okay.
So it was through their relationship that I had gotten involved, and I would probably say I was recruited. During that time, Tita Jing got me involved in some of the protests, the street theater, the guerrilla theater, and the kind of arts that we do. It's sort of arts and activism. And so even before Pintig formally formed as an organization in 1991, probably around 86, 87, I was already getting involved and working with other community organizers and leaders who wanted to make presentations for the community. And I just remember some of the protests back then was maybe getting the U.S. military bases out of the Philippines, demonstrating in front of the consulate, things like that.
Ang strength are people like us who kind of look at this as a lifestyle. Like it's become like a staple food for us as Filipinos in Chicago to dine with Pintig throughout the whole year, so that we feel satisfied that there is a good reason for us to stay in the mission using art as a tool for social transformation. I think that's how I see it. It becomes a place where we could gain energy again and keep it on and give another shot and give it to the next generation. And I think the wish of most of us who are here, there's about a dozen of us here who are all the way rooted in the early 90s, believe that we are just bridging something here. It's not just, we are bridging something that the hope is that the next generation could get something out of this experience what we have shared.
Kaya para naman kay Jing, ito ang kanyang simpleng masasabi.
Ito natutunan ko sa theater early on. There are no small parts, only small actors. So maski na gaano kaliit ang part mo, play it big.
Theater and community service is their chosen platform. On stage, they are able to freely expose the ills of society alongside their frustration and opposition to the neglect of the government, who sometimes even became instrumental in making the problems worse. Every word they throw, every nuance of their acts, one can find the message of struggle, hope, and change. They are living a good life here in America, just like the rest of our kababayans who chose to live here. If at all, they can choose not to meddle with other people's problems or to whatever is happening in the Philippines. But the love for the country and the engagement with the challenges of time seem to be very prominent in their convictions and their character. From all of us here at Profile Overseas Diaries, we salute your dedication. May your tribe increase. We would like to invite you to continue following us for more of the stories of our kababayans. You can visit our YouTube channel if you missed some of our stories. And please, don't forget to hit that like, subscription, and notification button so you will be the first to watch our upcoming episodes. You can also message us at pmaa.usa22@gmail.com or go to our Facebook page if you have stories you would like to share. Again, thank you for watching.
Calling all Filipino senders, send money to your loved ones in the Philippines with no fees. Transfer securely and affordably from your phone to GCash, Cash Pickup, and all major banks in the Philippines. Receive a $20 free credit with SendWave by downloading the app. To enjoy your free credit, use the code PINTIG. Send money to your loved ones with SendWave. Maraming salamat.
Hello, this is your everyday economist Alvin Ang.